I'm a dunce, a doofus, a loser. I know, harsh language, but hear me out.
Sometimes realize there's no way.
You have tuned into Breaking the Mask of Depression with your host, Diva with Depression.
Just waiting back.
Hey guys, welcome to Breaking the Mask of Depression with me, your host, the Diva with Depression. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are, I don't know, I don't even want to say staying peaceful. I hope you're staying as hopeful as well. It's a real shit show going on out here. You know, as much as we try to stay out of it, try to stay unaware, I don't even know what the word is for it, you know. You just turn on your phone, try to watch a little TV. Some shit's always popping up, but you know, that's the way to put it. Just try to stay as hopeful as possible. You know? So listen, I'm on a rant today, because I told you guys that I relocated, so I am going through the process of finding new doctors, but this is something that I've been going through since my illness took a turn years ago, when I first had my first breakdown. Because one of the things that you go through when you start living with a chronic illness is changes in that you can't do some of the things that you used to do. And so one of my pet peeves is that I cannot, my brain doesn't function the way that it used to. And so over the years, trying to explain that to doctors, I get angry because I don't think that they understand how serious it is, Like, you guys don't understand. Like, this isn't just, like people say, oh, if I say I can't remember things, people just casually like, oh, well, as you can't get older, you forget things. No, it's not just forgetting things. Like, I just can't, like, from minute to minute, I can't remember things, or, oh, well, we all have to, reread things or whatever. No, you just don't get it, so when I went to the primary care doctor last week, and I was explaining it to her that, I just don't have the mind that I used to have. And I take one of the things that, people, oh, well, this is going to sound really weird to you, but, how some people say, oh, well, I had nice legs and I had this and I had that, but my intelligence is something that I always held on to, like, I know that I was smart. I know that I was a good writer. I know that I was good in school. Like, those are just some things that, like, I didn't know if I was pretty, or, I didn't know if I looked, looked good or nice, whatever. But I knew that I was smart, and that's something that I could always hold on to. And so when I'm at a point now where, of course I can still write. I'm still a good writer, but I can't concentrate long enough to follow through with writing. Of course I'm still smart, but I cannot read a book. And it's like, well, what do you mean you can't read a book? I mean, I can't fucking read a book. That's what I mean. I mean, I can't get through a chapter of a book. Forget a freaking chapter. Like, hello, can we get through a page of a book? you know? And so I said, I'm going to just put this out there because, I know that there are other people that feel like this. And of course, when you get to a certain age, I'm not going to make this an age thing, but of course, when you get to a certain age, and I'm only going to speak on women because I don't know, I'm not going to speak on men because I don't know their age progression, but when you get to a certain age, when you're a woman and you go into premenopause and menopause in different stages like that, then you do start to, your mind, do start to forget things, or your mind starts to change and different things like that. And that is expected, but it does not change your mind to the point where you cannot, I don't want to say, it stifles your ability to carry out tasks. And I will say this, I went into premenopause early. I had my youngest at 31, so it triggered perimenopause early. So I did not, and I did not lose my ability to carry out tasks at that point. But as my depression got worse, then yes, I did. So, but from what I have learned and talking to people, talking to doctors throughout the years, the menopause was not part of the problem. It really was more of the mental illness, and you can throw in the medication in there. And, as later on, when fibromyalgia related symptoms and chronic fatigue and different things added in there. But it it's a combination of things. But what we don't talk about and what we don't hear about is how much mental illness plays a part in us losing the ability, our cognitive functions, and how the combination of having these mental illnesses and the treatments for these mental illnesses and losing the desire to do what we love to do, all of this combined, it, you know how we say you use it or lose it, right? And so if we don't feel like reading, if we don't feel like writing, if we don't feel like using our brain, then what happens? We just, what? And so I don't want to say that that's part of the problem. I'm just saying that it could be part of the problem. But it's fucking frustrating. And it's even more frustrating is that nobody is listening to me. Like, I cannot get the psychiatrist to understand, like, how, oh my gosh, like, do you know how depressing it is to not be able to do something that I love? Like, I had a whole freaking book club. Like, I'm reading novels, and now I can't read a magazine article. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, I sit around and I'm like, I'm a dunce, I'm a doofus, I'm a loser. And I know how harsh that sounds, but you have to hear me out. You know, like I've been an avid reader like all my life. You know, like in the second grade, reading on a sixth grade reading level. Ramona, you guys remember the Ramona books, Judy Blume books, Nancy Drew, and then like getting older and Toni Morrison, J. California Cooper. And then when going to work, you know what I'm saying? And it for you Brooklyn people, you take the dollar van and you're reading in the dollar van, then you get to Utica Avenue, you get on the 4 train, and you know you gotta get get in the line and you make sure you get a seat, and you get your seat, you pull out your book, and you take in the train from Utica to Grand Central Station, and Elin Harris had you in a chokehold. You know what I'm saying? So you take it that, and you could read at least 3 books a week, if not more, just commuting, right? That that those are like we were readers. I'm a reader. You know, don't let it be a fire book, please. Don't let it be a fire book. And then listen, you would read. Say we had Elin Harris. You read that book, and then you get to work, and your coworker had a fire book. Y'all trade books, and then you go on. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are trading book. You got your own little mini book club at work. Everybody trading books. Like that was it. My mother was a huge reader. My baby brother is a huge reader. He loves mystery books, you know, crime books. But really, like most of my family, books. Like that is a huge part of my family. So, you know, for me not to be able to read, it kills me. You know, writing, like writing is a big part of my life. And so it takes me forever to write, you know, to sit down. I have 3 books that I have started. Even if I tell you how long ago I started them, start, stop, because I can't focus. And these are things that bring me joy, but I can't focus. And the doctor doesn't seem to understand how angry that makes me, how depressed that makes me. And that like, it's like, and this is a really bad analogy, but it makes sense. You know how when someone is begging for drugs to make them feel better? That's how I sound to the psychiatrist probably. Like, please give me something to make my brain clear up. Like, pull the cobwebs apart so that I can have some clarity. Please just give me 3 hours so I can get some work done. Right? Like I probably sound like that. Like what was the movie Jungle Fever? Gator, do the dance, mama, do the dance. Like I probably sound like that because that's how it feels. Because I just want to wake up and be able to accomplish something. You know, like you guys have no idea how much it takes to be able to set a goal and complete it when your mind doesn't work the way everybody else does. I was talking to my sister yesterday because, you know, me and my sisters every day say good morning and, you know, talk about what we're going to do for the day. And she told me what she was going to do for the day. And she told me that she was working on something that was happening 3 months from now. And I was like, holy shit. Like, this is why you're better than I am. Because I'm working on something that's due in an hour, and she's working on something that's due in 3 months. You see what I'm saying? I can never, you know? But th- this is what I'm saying. It's very, very hard. And, of course I'll find Google Facts for stuff, but I just wanted to share like a little bit of background with why I wanted to go on this rant. And it is a personal rant, but it's not, I know that it's not just me because I do, talk to people that go through the same thing, but just for different reasons. Like I do have friends and sisters that are going through it because of the menopause or because of straight ADHD, or straight depression. Like I know that there were various reasons for it and it's frustrating, but I don't think that we get to express the anger and how it makes us feel when no one listens to us. And I don't think that we get to express the grief that we feel for the lives that we used to live, or the grief for the things that we used to do that we can't do anymore. And but listen, I found something that said that higher IQ is associated with more mental illnesses, including depression, anxiety, and bipolar disorder. I don't think that I have a higher IQ than anyone else. I don't think so, but and it's these are some of the questions that I put into Google. How does mental illness affect you intellectually? And it says confused thinking or reduced ability to concentrate. So, excessive fears or worries, extreme feelings or guilt, these things can affect, how you're thinking and how you concentrate. So, it doesn't have to be extreme, like everyday stressors are going to affect how you, function and how, of course, if you're going through something, you're not going to be able to think, have a good time, participate in different activities. That's understandable. Of course, it's not going to be as extreme as some other cases, but, I really cannot, like, I can sit down. Just today, I was with my daughters and I was reading something, and 5 minutes later, I forgot what I read. If I don't screenshot what I'm reading, I'll forget where number one, where I got it from, and number two, what I read. My phone, if you look at if you go into like the storage area of my phones, and I'm ashamed, well, I'm not ashamed, but I have three phones. But if you go into the storage area of my phones, the gallery takes up the bulk of it because I have to screenshot everything. And because I'll forget where I saw something and forget what I read because I have to screenshot it. I have to write everything down. I have a notebook that I have sticky notes stapled onto every page because I can't remember stuff. When I'm reading something, I highlight it. I have to highlight everything So most of the books that I have to highlight. If I go to the library and I see a book and I start reading it and it's interesting to me and I find parts of it that I need information out of it, I will have to take a picture of the front of it and I will have to come home and go online and buy the book so I can highlight, buy it so I can have it personally and, highlight the information in the book because I'll forget. Or I will take pictures of the pages while I'm at the library. But it's depressing. It's extra depression because you know I just love to read. I'm like one of those book nerds. Like I love the feel of a book. I have books all over the place, and it makes me sad, you know, and yeah. I'm gonna try not to get sad and cry on you guys today. So, here's another Google fact. Depression can significantly impact reading abilities by causing difficulties with concentration, focus, and comprehension, potentially leading to a decline in reading skills and a negative impact on overall well-being. So, you see, it's not, I guess that's part of the use it or lose it concept that, you don't use those skills. So you're not you're not strengthening those skills. It's sort of like what I was reading a couple of weeks ago with dementia, how they say that people with dementia, they like them to use puzzles and word search and little math skills and different things like that to keep their mind going. I was watching a movie and the man did puzzles every single day, and he was an ex-cop, and someone came to him with an old case, and that old case sort of with combined with a treatment an experimental treatment that they were giving him helped him start to get his memory back. So, there are ways, I guess, to, keep using these skills, but it's just, I think that we have to do more or find more ways to let these doctors and therapists know that this is a major issue, because as much as they want us to keep using these skills, part of the illness is that the frustration of not being able to concentrate, not being able to remember, not being able to do the things that we find joy in. So, walking around Barnes and Noble, of course, is one of my all-time favorite things to do. But what's the use? I can buy 16 books, but I can't ever read them. So they're just piling up, which leads to clutter, which leads to more depression, which leads to my kids yelling at me because I have books all over the place. So it's just always something. Depression, does depression make it harder to read? Making decisions, reading, or watching television can seem taxing with depression because people cannot think clearly or follow what is happening. And this is so true. The TV part, they say that the people with mental illness that we watch reruns, like, well, of course, Law and Order doesn't count because I think everybody in America can sit and watch Law and Order 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, because I really think that there's something in the opening credits. But the reason why we watch shows that we've seen already is because we know what to expect, and we know what's going to happen, and we know, like, there's nothing that's going to catch us off guard or trigger us. But yeah, so we don't nothing can catch us off guard, and we can follow along. But if we're watching something new, we have to concentrate on what's being said. We have to follow the timeline. We have to follow the clues. We have to follow along with the characters and everything. And that's hard. And it really, really is, like, concentrating. Like, I know that every TV in my house has closed captioning on it because I can't just hear what the person is saying. I have to see the words, because I can't concentrate on just hearing it. So these are things, like I tell you guys, I have to tell you that the good, the bad, the ugly, the uglier, the ugliest, the worst, everything. Because these are things that nobody says, they don't tell you about. And these are horrible feelings. These are horrible feelings. Last week we went to, my youngest daughter wanted Wendy's. And so we went to Wendy's and I ordered a chicken sandwich, a small chicken sandwich. And we get the food and they gave me my bag. They gave me all the bags. And so I pulled out, and this is a true story, I swear. I pulled out a sandwich. I took a small bite. And it was a hamburger. And I just sat there and chewed it. I didn't order a hamburger. And then I folded it back up. I closed it. And I started crying. And I said, "I'm sorry." And my oldest said, "Why are you sorry?" And I said, "Because you asked me if I wanted chicken nuggets." And I said, "No, I wanted a chicken sandwich." But I just took a bite of a burger because I thought I ordered a burger. And this is all in 5 minutes. Because my brain doesn't work. And so she said the same thing. "Oh, Mom, it's okay. Everybody's forgetful." And I says, "No, that's not normal. It was 5 minutes. 5 minutes." And so, is this because of the mental illness? Is this because of the medication? Is this symptoms of something more? I don't know, but it's frustrating that nobody's understanding that it's not normal, and it's heartbreaking, and it's sad, and it's frustrating for me, someone who prides herself on being intelligent and on her toes. Someone who prides herself on being a smart cookie, you know? So I feel like it sort of feels like I'm deteriorating, kind of. My brain is sort of deteriorating. And it's not because I'm not using it. I mean, all of my friends will tell you that if you send me, say, I need to um, find some information on such and such, I'm going to find it for you. I'll find it for you right away. I'm like Google research queen. Not just Google, everything. My sister, God rest her soul, she used to say that that should be my business, to be a research assistant. So it's not like I don't use my brain. And of course, I have this whole platform and speaking and everything else. So I use my brain. But it feels part of it, a huge part of me feels like my brain is deteriorating. And I don't know, like I said, if it's because of the illness or the medication or something more. But this is, as I read to you from these few examples, a huge side effect of mental illness. And I need you to be aware that it is a side effect of mental illness. And I need you to be aware that it is something that you should talk to your doctor about if you are concerned about it, and start to find ways to combat it. And if the doctor is not sure, or if you and your doctor are going to start to work towards it, in the meantime, find exercises to do yourself. Like we were just talking about it with the dementia, the puzzles, the crossword puzzles, search word puzzles. My biological used to do the New York Times crossword puzzle every single day. I know some people do Sudoku. I never caught on to the Sudoku phase. I don't know how to do that much. I love cookbooks, and so now I don't know. I know that not everybody cooks, but a lot of cookbooks have stories that go along with them, so those are good. Just find something that you like and keeps you entertained. But there's something out there, writing, even if it's just a journal, that's fine too. But just find something that, keeps you occupied, keeps your brain going a little bit. And coloring, mandalas, everything is a coloring book now. It's not like when we were younger. You just had stick figures and animals. Now everything is a coloring book. Go on Amazon, you can find all sorts of coloring books. They even have curse word coloring books, which is my favorite. Or if you can go on Pinterest and print them out. So do that. But, don't wait for your doctor to find a cure. Try to find something to keep you occupied. You can go on, the library site and get audio books. I've done that a couple of times. If reading is your thing, that, it's not the same, but it does help keep you in the reading game. So know that I hear you. I'm with you. I understand it is a tough road, but we're going to be okay. And I thank you for listening. I know I'm going to keep saying this. I know that it's a struggle with everything that's going on in the world. Everything, every day, I just sit here and shake my head. And somebody said today, I was reading, somebody said that it just feels like the joy has been sucked out of life. Like there's no feeling, and I feel it too. Like a little bit of air is sucked out, but we're gonna keep going, okay? And so If you ever need me, you guys know that I am on Instagram. I am I try not to be on Twitter too much. But my website, divawithdepression.com, you can reach out to me there. You can reach out to me on Instagram. And you can reach out to me on any of the podcast sites. Leave me a message and I will get back to you. But I want you to try to stay peaceful. I want you to try to stay hopeful. And let me know if there's anything that you would like me to talk about on my show. And I will definitely highlight it. Most definitely, because I want to bring more attention to the things that will make us feel better. Okay? So take care of yourselves, love yourselves, and stay peaceful. Okay? Bye.
Sometimes realize that